Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's go ahead and get on camera. I only see Kaisha, Kayla, Michael, Tyrell. There we go. Oh, good to see you all. Excellent. I kind of would be curious, how many languages can we say good morning in? Does one raise their hand, say good morning in another language? Could be kind of a fun thing to do. And Claire, what language are you saying good morning in?
I know Guten Tag.
Yep, that's German.
German. I know Buenos Dias.
Buenos dias, Spanish.
And I know good morning, English.
English, great. All right, German, Spanish, and English. Thank you. And Claire, Lauren?
In Portuguese, bom dia.
Bom dia in Portuguese. Thank you, Lauren. Izzy?
I usually do this on a daily basis, but it's Ohio, it's Japanese. So that means good morning. And so you could say Ohio or Ohio gozaimasu to be polite.
You're gonna say like Ohio, like the state Ohio? It sounds like that.
Yeah, Ohio.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
I learned something new today. Wow. I'm gonna tell my friend from Ohio that. Cool. Thank you, Izzy. Tagrul?
I can say in Arabic it's Sabahun Khair. In Turkish it's Marhaba. In Azerbaijani it's kind of Salam. In Russian Dobre Utra. And English I know also good morning. That's it. I mean, I know a lot, but I just say the language with which I speak fluently. That's what.
Wow. I love how Tagrul's like, yeah, that's all I know. After he says like 4 different languages. That's pretty impressive. Thanks for sharing. Wow, I'm amazed. Desmond?
I only know one. It's French. Bonjour.
Yes, I was waiting for someone to say French. My favorite language. Thank you. Bonjour. Kayla?
Sorry, I incorrect with mine. I was going to say the Spanish one.
Oh, you can say it in Spanish again if you'd like.
Oh, buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Awesome. See, this is kind of fun. Look at how much culture we have in our group. Pretty incredible. Thank you all for sharing. Good morning in different languages that you know. I love languages. I think it's really amazing to walk down the street in New York City and hear so many different languages being spoken. It's one of my favorite things about living in the city. Is Miguel here? Miguel Mello? Miguel, I'm looking for your face. I see your name. Miguel, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. I was just fixing my hair.
Oh yeah, that is high priority. Here's something that I have right here. This is like my comb at my desk because you never know when you might need it, right? All right, because you know
combs don't
combs
don't tame this mane. Sadly enough.
I hear you. Well, it looks very good. I'm gonna spotlight you. You look great. I'm gonna spotlight myself as well, so you don't feel like you're so out of place. Miguel, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Was able to wake up earlier than expected. Got some breakfast. And yourself? How you feeling?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. So I shared this before, but I have 2 young kids and they don't really sleep. Kids don't really like to sleep. But last night they both slept so I slept last night from like 10:30 to like 6. So I feel great. This morning I was like that woman in The Sound of Music frolicking through a field singing. I feel like I had
the hills are alive.
The hills are alive. I feel like I had boundless energy. I was like, wow, I slept for 7 straight hours and no one asked me for milk or for anything. This is great. But thanks for asking. So what's something interesting about you, Miguel? A fun fact.
Interesting. So in 2019, I broke my ankle while I was skateboarding.
Oh, wow.
And I had to I tore the ligament that holds my tibia and fibula together. So I needed surgery. So there's a titanium plate in my ankle now. I actually am gonna need to have surgery again in next month. Actually, I'm having surgery again because the pins were poking out too much, so the holes never closed.
Oh my gosh. So now I have a follow-up question because I used to do a lot of skateboarding. How'd you were you trying a trick or did you hit a rock?
Oh,
what
no.
happened? Okay.
So I make very bad decisions at times. So I decided because I only cruise, so I had a cruiser board.
Okay.
So I was going over cobblestone because my friends had started running to somewhere and I was just like, well, I'm not gonna run. That's way too much work. So then I just thought I can skate as fast as I can. And then I was just like, oh yeah, I'll just get over the cobblestone. It's fine. And then I hit a piece of uneven where it was uneven, and then my board popped up, and here
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah. And your, gosh, and your ankle, which, what, did your ankle like bend in or did it bend out or how did it get?
So when I got up, I was just like, if my feet were like this, my right ankle was just a little to the side. And then if I tried to bring it back, I'd be like, oh, nope, it's staying right here.
Yeah. I
Had to relearn how to walk. It actually like it happened right before the summer of 2019.
Okay, so your summer 19 was not very fun.
My summer 19 was in my bed.
Man, well, good luck on the surgery. Getting lots of positive vibes in the chat box, and yeah, thanks for sharing. I know that that's a really hard thing when your feet, your ankles, your knees, basically anything below your hips is in pain. Like your life is tough.
Yeah,
got
learning
like
how
a-
to walk again was weird.
Well, I can imagine so. Learning how to walk as an adult has to be really tough. So, thank you for sharing. And what's the question that you want to pose to our group, Miguel?
Oh man, let's see. If you had to choose one appendage that had to go, what would it be and why?
Okay. And then for those who don't know what an appendage means, how specific are we getting here? Like, can you say
It could be like a hand, a foot,
Okay.
a whole leg,
Right. Okay. So a hand, a foot, a whole leg, whatever. But you can't like say, I'll get rid of like a pinky. That's not good enough. You got to go
It's too easy.
full appendage. Okay, gotcha. And what about you, Miguel? What'd you get rid of?
Probably like I think I'd be cool with like if I lost my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because any of the feet, I already lost them for a while, and that was rough.
Yeah, I think I would say the same. I went to high school with a guy who was not the sharpest tool in the shed, and he when he was probably like 13 or 14, was in his bedroom, and he lit an M80. If you know what an M80 is, like a small little firecracker. Yeah, he lit that, and then he was gonna throw it out the window, and then the window slammed shut. And what you should do if that happens is like throw it in the floor and get that thing away from you. But he
He just
decided
held it in his hand.
held it in his hand, and then he lost basically. He basically just has a fist on his left hand.
Oh,
And
man.
what's really remarkable though is like he plays basketball, he lifts weights, he shoots pool. Like he learned how to function pretty well with only having like very limited, mobility. So I probably go with my left hand as well because I look at my friend from high school and I'm like, hey, he's functioning pretty well and he doesn't have a left hand, so it's doable.
Yeah.
Well, very good, Miguel. Thank you so much for sharing, for being today's assistant instructor. We appreciate
Thank
you
you for
very
having me.
much. I'm going to remove my spotlight and we'll go ahead and jump into class. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give you all an Excel challenge because I have to say something to encourage you all is you guys have done really well with Excel so far. You've done better than the previous class. I think a big part of that is a lot of you I know did the pre-work. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a curveball. You can go off camera for this. I'll give you, you know what, you're a smart group. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes to make an Excel spreadsheet that says your manager has asked you to oversee a project on your team, updating the company kitchen. Costs include $15,000 for materials and $40 an hour of labor for 8 workers working 40 hours to complete the kitchen. The annual upkeep maintenance will be $1,000, $1,000. And since the kitchen is utilizing green energy, your company will receive a $7,500 tax credit annually. Using Excel, create a spreadsheet breaking down costs to show your manager how long will it take for the project to pay for itself. Any questions on what we're doing? Going once, going twice. All right. I'm going to give you all 5 minutes, and then we'll see who can crack the code. I'm going to go ahead and take attendance, and see you soon. That is time. Is there anybody who'd like to raise their digital hand and share their screen and show us how you figured it out using Excel? Ooh, not a single person was able to crack the code. You guys need more time? Sikander, you got it?
I just need like a minute and I'd be done. I just didn't finish the whole thing. I know how to do it though.
Sure. How we do that? We'll wait. I'll give you one more minute. Looks like no one's done yet, and then Sikander can share, and I'm going to cold call somebody to share. So 1 more minute. Go ahead. All right. We've given you plenty of time. Go ahead and come back on camera. And Sikander, when you are ready, the floor is yours. All right, we see your screen. You're on mute, Sikander, if you don't mind explaining what you did.
Okay, you guys can see it, right?
Yes, sir.
So I put in all the costs, the materials, labor per hour, the upkeep, and then I found the total labor costs. So labor per hour was 40 times 8. It's $40 an hour for 8 workers. Total labor cost is B3 times 40. Total annual cost would be the materials plus the total cost would be 15, materials plus the labor cost, which is 27,800. The upkeep would depend on how many years it would take to get to, which is about 3.7 years to pay off the total labor cost based on annual tax credit. So like what I was trying to do here was find out the number of years, which is 3.7. Add that to the total cost, it'd be like $3,700 plus this. Divided by, or like, so this was the point where I was trying to figure out what equation, what I would use here.
Yep.
I just didn't get to that, but essentially what you would do is, 3.7 times 1,000, you get $3,700 because it's gonna take about 3.7 years to pay off what you have currently. You'd probably round that up to 4 because you need the number of years. So you add 4,000 to 27,800.
Yep.
So that's $31,800, and then you divide that by $7,500, and that'll probably give you 4 years.
Yep. Yeah, there you
If
go.
can Get to that. I was figuring that out right now.
That's okay. That's all right. I appreciate you sharing that, Sikander. Thank you so much. Awesome. And let's see from one other person. Someone I haven't heard from in a while. How about Brian Muhammad? Brian, were you able to get started on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, but I wasn't as further in Sikander's worksheet than I am.
Why don't you show us what you have so far? This is ungraded, so this is just practice.
Sure. Can you see it?
Yep, we got it.
Yeah, so I got up to here, but I got kind of stuck.
Sure. Yep, you have the materials, the labor cost, number of employees, annual upkeep, tax credit. Yep, there we go. So yeah, you sort of we're working on it. And you got like the dollar signs in there, which is helpful for sure. Awesome. All right. So you were getting there. You got the general
Yeah.
idea of what we're doing. Great. Glad to see that. Thanks, Brian. I'm gonna call on one more person, just so I want to make sure we're all tracking. How about Rashi? Let's go ahead and take a look at your screen. You there, Rashi? Rashi Johnson. All right, I guess Rashi must have stepped away from his computer. That's why it's good to do these things, to know who's here. I'm in the middle of something, I apologize. All right, thanks for letting me know. You know what, I think that's good. I think we saw enough. Let's go ahead and get jumped into today's lesson. Today, we're really just gonna focus on customer service and how core values impact customer service. So I know last week we did Steve Jobs' keynote of Apple, and somebody put in the discussion board, which I graded this morning, which by the way, great job to everybody on the discussion board. I loved reading your answers. Somebody put that Steve Jobs is their favorite entrepreneur, which is, respectable. He obviously has created some really incredible products. Personally, my favorite entrepreneur is a guy named Tony Hsieh. Does anybody know who Tony Hsieh is? What company he founded? Tony Hsieh is a founder of a company called Zappos. Anybody know what Zappos is? What does Zappos do? You can go ahead and raise your hand and let us know. Jesus, what does Zappos do?
He sells shoes.
Yes, they sell shoes and other products. And it might seem like that seems kind of like a boring job. Why would you admire Zappos so much? Does anybody know anything about Zappos as a company that makes them, different or unique as opposed to Amazon or, all the other million places you can go and buy shoes? Yeah, Izzy, what do you know about Zappos?
Not as much as anyone else probably, but I do know for a fact that back in the days, my mom would shop there because it had more discounted prices than the other retail stores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. They definitely worked very hard to be competitive, for sure. That's one of the things I do appreciate about them. Kayla, what do you know about Zappos?
My dad buys like 6 pairs of shoes at a time from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's like a good dad spot.
Well, I liked Zappos even before I became a father, but yeah, it definitely could be a good dad spot for sure. One of the things I really appreciate about Tony Hsieh's leadership is his vulnerability as a CEO. Like Steve Jobs is a very intense person. There's been a lot of stories about how he was not so kind to his employees, but Tony Hsieh was not that way. I have a YouTube video. You don't have to watch it now, but I do encourage you to watch it later. And when you watch his presentation, you're like, wow, this guy is he's very kind. He's very humble. He's very relaxed. He's not like this intense, person. Unfortunately, Tony is a very complex person, and he unfortunately lost his life this past year, which was really sad. He's a person that I followed for a very long time. He was incredibly young, in his 40s, and has some addictions and has some vices, and got the best of him. But his leadership carries on with his career that he started at Zappos. So here are their core values. These things on the right. Just pull this from their website. And one of the really interesting things that they do in their company is they actually can hire and fire people based on core values. Oftentimes companies are like, hey, if you do your job and you show up, we're going to keep you. And if you don't do your job and don't show up, we're going to let you go. But they actually will tell people like, listen, like we have a philosophy of work that says you have to, build a positive team and family spirit, number 7. And if you don't do that, that could result in you not coming to work here. And if you get interviewed here and we ask you, one of the questions they ask you to interview is from 1 to 10, how weird are you? Which is like, what? Why would you ask that? Right? But it's because one of their core values is create fun and a little weirdness. It's like they don't want people that are going to be super straight laced all the time. They want people to be themselves and bring their full self to work. Any of these core values that stick out to you that are like, wow, that's really surprising that they chose that for a core value for their company? You can raise your digital hand and call it out. Yeah, Miguel, what sticks out to you of this list?
Definitely the one you mentioned, the create fun and the little weirdness one. Like I have never in like my life seen like somewhere where they're trying to hire you that their core values is to bring weirdness, like a little bring fun and weirdness. Like it's pretty cool. Like I really like it.
All right, Miguel, since you're today's assistant instructor, let's pretend that I'm hiring you at Zappos, and I'm going to ask you that question. From 1 to 10, you have to give a reason why, just from 1 to 10. 1 being you're the most normal person in the planet, and 10 being like you're really, really, really weird. How would you rank yourself from 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give myself a strong 7.3.
7.3. All right, great. Thank you. You're hired. Excellent. But it's funny because Tony said that, like he's like, we want people to be 6s or 7s or 8s. Like we don't want people to say I'm a 9 or a 10 because maybe that's a little bit too weird, right? But if someone's like I'm a 2, it's like you're probably not gonna like it here. You're probably not gonna fit in. So 7.6, great. Kaisha, what do you see on here that's interesting?
Sorry. Number 4, be adventurous, creative, and open-minded. A lot of these jobs, they keep you in a certain box, a certain kind of certain restrictions. So being adventurous isn't really encouraged. They're like, just stick to what the company policy is, you know?
Yeah, stick to the status quo. Exactly. Really, really glad you brought that one up. I appreciate that. One interesting thing, well, there's a few interesting things about their core values. The first one is when they decided to have core values, they actually were a company for 11 years until they had core values, which is pretty crazy. They lasted a whole decade without having values. And what they decided to do was, instead of the senior leaders like the CEO and the executive team going off to like a retreat somewhere with whiteboards and writing things down of what should our core values be, they actually emailed the whole entire company and asked them, what should our core values be? Isn't that crazy? Like that's what they decided to do. And people fired back, hundreds of answers. And then they built a committee and they did the core values, which I thought was like really, really cool that they let everyone have input on what they thought the core values should be. Why do you think they did that? Like, why does that make more sense than just, hey, let's just get all the senior leaders away for a week and then we come back like, with our ideas that we have? Like, why does it make more sense to let everybody in the company, from the entry level person who's answering phones to the senior executive, have say in on what the core value should be? Davian, why do you think there's value in that?
I feel like because at the end of the day, the company isn't just the higher ups, the company is everyone in general. They all create what the company is.
Yeah, absolutely. The company is everybody. Tyrell, what would you add? You're on mute, Tyrell.
So sorry.
It's okay.
To piggyback a little of what Davian said, it makes the employees feel like they're actually part of the company. They're not just a number. They're not just a statistic within the company. What they say matters, and that they are an integral part of what the operations.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyrell. Let me ask you a follow-up question, if you don't mind, sir. Like, imagine like you were just starting off your career at Zappos and you got that email and you said, you know what, one of our core values should be number 10, be humble. And you found out that they actually use that one. Like, how would that make you feel as an employee?
I wouldn't be humble about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. You'd be like, whoa, look at me. They chose my idea. Yeah.
I wrote that email first. I was the first person to say it.
I said it first, and there it is, number 10. No, I love it. But I mean, it would make you feel like, wow, they really value what I have to say, even if I'm a newer employee.
I'd feel heard, which is important.
Totally. And sometimes a lot of companies, they have this like philosophy that we up top, we make all the decisions and you guys just do what we say. And that's not a place people want to work. Like, you want to work somewhere where you feel like you're heard, you're a person, your voice matters. The second interesting thing with these values is when they first created them in 2010, if you Googled like create fun and a little weirdness, and maybe that one you still would, but all of these at one point, like if you Googled them, one of the first hits would be Zappos website. So if you Googled do more with less, first page of Google would be Zappos website. If you Googled pursue growth and learning, first page on Google, Zappos website. That's probably changed. The internet has changed substantially in the last 11 plus years, but it's pretty amazing that they were such a unique conglomerate of ideas that it was getting that kind of SEO. The last thing that's really cool is what Tony Hsieh would do is if you were coming into Zappos, I'm gonna go ahead and remove my screen. I love this story. It gives me goosebumps. Is if you were flying into Las Vegas where their headquarters were for a role, let's just suppose you're going to go out there for an interview. They actually had a shuttle that would pick you up from the airport and take you to the office for the day. Which is kind of cool, right? You have to call an Uber or get a cab or take the bus because they want to, give you top-notch service. And they would have a person, drive up, give you a shuttle, and you'd go to the office and you have your interview. And guess what they would do at the end of the day after all your formal interview was over? Anybody want to take a guess at what they would do after they got you back to the airport and sent you back home? Anyone raise their hand, take a guess at something they would do that was really unique? Yeah, Eduardo.
It sounds like they really take care of their people. So I'm gonna guess take them out for dinner.
Yeah, that would be nice to take them out for dinner. That would be nice, but they might have done that, but they do something even more. Maria.
Host a party.
Host a party. Yeah, that'd be cool, but they don't do that. Jesus.
Pay for their ticket back for wherever they came from.
Well, I would hope they would pay for the ticket. If someone's flying you out, they're definitely paying for the ticket because that's standard. Let's see here, Tyrell.
I was gonna say they pay for your check bags.
I'm sure they do that too. They go above and beyond that because they want to show they want to do something that's really different. I'm gonna give you a hint. There's nothing it has to do with the person being interviewed, but it has to do with somebody else in the equation. Let me give you a little hint. Matthew, put your hand down.
No, I put it down by accident. I wanted to go. I assume that they will hire you, like as soon as they take you back.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. What if they were like, "Hey, on the ride home, by the way, we're offering you the job." They don't do that. I'm gonna give you guys two more guesses, and I'm gonna tell you what the big reveal. Diane.
Fly your family out somewhere.
Oh, that'd be cool. They give you a vacation. No, they don't do that. Joshua.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing,
Same
like
thing?
bringing
All
a
right.
significant other.
Okay, it's like they make a little trip out of it. Yeah, they don't do that. Miguel.
I mean, this probably isn't like above and beyond, but for a company, it would be like they just actually like make sure you get back safely.
Oh, like
Or,
they text you like, "Hey, I didn't make it back to
yeah,
your
like
city."
have a safe flight, and then make sure to they find out like when you do land and stuff.
Yeah. So I think we're all thinking more of like what they're doing for the candidate. How can they get to know the candidate in a way that won't show up in the interview? Let me say it again. A shuttle picks you up, drives you to the site, you interview all day, the shuttle drives you back, but they want to find out who is this person really? What do you think they do? Sikander, I saw your hand.
I mean, I wasn't gonna take that approach. I was gonna say maybe they bring the boss with them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Usually you just meet with the recruiter, but this time, like, your boss, like the person that would be a direct boss or your boss's boss might also be there, trying to get a feel of who you are as a person.
Could be. Yeah, bring the boss. It's one of the things that they do in interviews oftentimes is they'll bring you to a buffet because they want to see like how do you act in the buffet. Do you just walk to the front and just start scooping things on your plate? Or do you just get like a lay of the land and kind of see where everything is and then make a decision of what you want to eat? Because that shows like what kind of person are you? Are you impulsive or are you someone that kind of feels things out before you make a decision? Someone's going to get it. I think Megan's going to get it. Megan, what do you think they do?
I'm not sure if I'll get it, but maybe like during that time of like taking you back or being with you. Like they ask you a bunch of questions and then report back to whoever's going to be like interviewing you or something.
You're getting very close. I see like 7 hands. We're coming up on time. Everyone put in the chat box what you think, even if your hand is not up. I'll give you 30 seconds. What is something that they can do to find out more about who you are based on a non-formal part of the interview? You guys crack me up. This is what they do. Ready for this? It's going to blow your mind. And who said it? Daniel Heath kind of got it. They asked the shuttle driver, how did this person treat you? When you got on the bus, did they say hi to you? Did they ask you how you were doing? Did they thank you when you dropped them off? Were they polite to you? Or did they just, walk in and be like, oh, yeah, and like in a bad mood and blow you off? Yeah, what Tyrell said is spot on. That is super important. It's super interesting because it's like, what kind of person is this? Anybody can show up to an interview and put on their best face, but how are you going to treat the shuttle driver? Same thing at interviews at restaurants. How are you going to treat the waitress or the waiter? How do you treat the host or the hostess? How do you treat the person that comes and gets your plate when you're done eating? Those are the things people look for. So that's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because you probably wouldn't think, oh, the shuttle driver, whatever. I'm not going to think twice about it, but they're actually going to ask the shuttle driver, how did this person treat you? What were they like while they were on the shuttle? Pretty interesting, huh? Zappos, I'm telling you, great company. All right, I see 3 hands, and then we're going to take a break and do our activity. Joshua, the floor is yours, sir.
And I said that I feel like, I mean, it is I guess a good way to see how they treat the bus driver. But like for me personally, I'll probably just say like, thank you, and then ignore them for the rest of the ride, because I'm not the type of person that just start up a conversation with somebody that's driving me. I usually like leave them to drive. And then when they get there, I just say like, thank you, and then get off. So there's not much interaction between me and the driver. So I was like, I don't know. It just seems like it's not a bad idea, but for certain situations, I feel like it's weird.
Well, one of the questions is, how weird are you? I mean, listen, I don't think they're asking like, did Joshua ask you your life story on the ride over to the office? I think it's more like what you said. Did they say hello? Did they say thank you? Did they give you a tip? I mean, little things like that. I mean, who knows what they want to know? But just how did they interact with you? How did they perceive you? But yeah, I don't think they're asking like, did they talk your ear off? I don't think that was the goal. I think the goal was just those interactions that are very, more subtle. Yeah, Izzy?
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Joshua said, because as a person that is quite introverted, that seems quite scary, because I don't want to be judged by how I perceive to a bus driver, a shuttle driver, because as you approach to the bus and you see the guy, you make like that slight eye contact, and I don't know if they expect me to like, oh, hey, how you doing? I don't know what they expect me to do. I expect it to be more just hi, pass them by and don't say anything else, and just try to do what I need to do.
Sure.
So I'm very confused with what, like, if in the future, like with all this interviewing stuff that really happens, I don't know what the protocol would be if I had to be sociable to a shuttle driver or someone else.
Well, let's tease this out, Izzy. Let's pretend I'm your shuttle driver. I see you at the curb, and I say, hi, my name's Eric. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll be taking you to the interview today. Like, what would you say to that?
Hi.
You would say hi, and that'd be it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I mean, listen, it's just an interesting thing that Zappos does. I'm not saying that, like, every company does this, but a lot of companies don't. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of interviews you go on in your life that they ask the shuttle driver, they ask the front desk receptionist, they ask people, like, how did this interaction go with them? Because, the interviews from the moment, not the moment that you show up in the office, but from every moment even before that. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for sharing. Kaisha, then Desmond, then we're going to go on.
I just wanted to say that I think that it's about the respect that you give and the respect that of how you hold yourself. You know, it's not like having to like you're about to do a speech or a pitch or anything like that. It's just how you respect yourself and how you respect the others around you and what you talk about and how your attitude is and how you come off and that kind of thing. Just how you are generally as a person.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you're absolutely right. Like I said, they're not asking you to be, you know, the most talkative person in the world. It's all about the attitude, the posture, the tone of voice, like all these, you know, non-verbal cues of communication that we use every day. You can tell a lot about a person by those things. Desmond?
All right, so I agree with Joshua and Easy, but everybody is really different. So for me, if I'm in that type of situation, I would want to talk to the driver at least, like maybe engage with him a little bit more. If he wants to get to, I mean, if you want to be engaged with me, that's fine. I mean, there's no problem with that. I just gotta be polite and know how I'm talking to him.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely. So, anyways, Zappos, Tony Shea. I encourage you to check them out. Really interesting company. I don't know how long it will be until Europe gets a partnership with them. We'll find out, but yeah, really amazing that like what they do is they sell shoes. I mean, and sell other items as well, but people are lining up to work there because of the culture. So with that said, it's 11:12. Class ends at 11:45. Two questions. I'll ask a question to the group. Green check if you say, let's just skip our break and end class a few minutes early. Red X if you're like, no, I got to walk away because I really need a break right now. All right. Green checks all around. All right. I'm going to give you guys a very quick interactive to do. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms of 4 to 5. Some people have left class. Okay. I'm going to follow up on that. Move to there. So we have a few groups of 5. We have one group of 6. And I'm going to give you, let's just say 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes with your group to look at this brand that I signed you to. And then you're going to come back and one person is going to share what you discussed. Okay? No PowerPoints, no visuals, just 1 minute. Why does this company have a strong company culture? All right? And I'm going to choose the person, and I'm going to choose a person that we don't hear from very often because I want to hear from all of you. So really quickly, group 1 will be the company Chick-fil-A. That'll be Brian, Davian, Desmond, Miguel, and Rashi. Group 2 will be the Home Depot. Daniel, Izzy, Jesus, Megan, Soledad, Tagrul. Group 3 is IKEA, Alan and Claire, Brandon, Henry, Joshua, Matthew. Group 4 is Starbucks, Jason, Kaisha, Melvin, Sabrina, Sean, Zunair. Group 5, I think, is Joe and the Juice, Audrey, Eduardo, Kayla, Martinez, Lauren, and Renee. Next group is Trader Joe's, Diane, Eli, Jorge, Michael, Sikander. Last group is Costco, Anton, Maria, Michael, Oscar, Tyrell. You're taking 10 minutes. You're researching the company. You're trying to understand their core values like we did with Zappos and why that is a positive experience for the company. Oh, thanks, Kayla. And you're going to see it as well. Like it'll pop up like Eric is inviting you to go to the Trader Joe's group. All right. And then when you come back in 10 minutes, I'm going to call one person from the group and you're going to share what are the core values of that company, just like we did here. Any questions? Bump, 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 bump. Off you go. See you in 10 minutes. Welcome back. Melvin, how you doing?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Jorge, what's new?
Nothing much. Just I've been going to therapy and I have been given permission with my ankle to play once a week.
Oh, what do you play once a week?
Just soccer just to keep the ankle area, active. 'Cause
Great.
that's what they want me to do.
Mm-hmm. Glad you're able to recover well, and I wish you the best. All right, folks, this is what we're gonna do. I want to see how well you can speak in a short amount of time. I'm setting my timer for 1 minute. At 1 minute, I'm gonna say, okay, you're done. We're gonna move on to the next group. All right. So how about we hear from our Chick-fil-A group? Who haven't we heard from yet today? Let's say everyone in the group we've heard from. So how about we just go with how about Desmond? Desmond, tell us about Chick-fil-A's core values and as it relates to customer experience. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted.
You're good. Go ahead.
So,
1 minute begins now.
So Chick-fil-A is really a nice place, basically. I have a personal experience with them. So I really look at the core value important, and one of the core value is we are here to serve, and the other is we are better together, and keeps going. We are purpose driven. We pursue what's next. So basically, when they say we are here to serve, like the customer service at Chick-fil-A is really on point. Like they make sure they ask you what you like, if you certify with everything that you order, and even ask you for extra sauce. Like you don't get that at every fast food places. And then we are better together. I've seen how they unite together as a worker, and they really shows that to the customer to be like together. And the purpose is obviously right there. Like they treat us as a customer, they treat us well, basically.
All right, that's 1 minute. Thank you so much. Awesome presentation. Merci beaucoup. We're gonna go to Home Depot, Chick-fil-A. So the customer comes first, and we serve. Excellent job, Desmond. Home Depot. Let's hear from. How about Soledad? Soledad, are you with us?
Hello, I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. What can you tell us about Home Depot and their core values as it relates to customer service?
We were talking about respect, how it's very important to have respect on our customers, because if we respect our customers, they'll always be coming back. And then one of my classmates says how good customer service means we'll be rich.
Great. So respecting the customer, that's how we can get repeat customers. Great. All right. Short and to the point, 20 seconds. Thank you so much. I'm gonna remove your spotlight. Home Depot. All right, let's go to IKEA. And let's hear from Henry Hernandez. Henry, what can you tell us about IKEA?
So IKEA has 8 core values. One of them is togetherness, right? So they believe that like the team is really important. I had one of my members talk about the differences between IKEA and Home Depot. They mentioned an article about going into Home Depot, and they would assume that so they said that they're sexist because they would assume a male would know what they're doing and a female would not. So in IKEA, right, so it's like women and men, it's like there's equality. Another core value is caring for people and planet, right? So they really care about their customers. Another one would be cost consciousness. So they really care about their customers affording their products and for good quality. Simplicity is another core value. So they're straightforward and really simple. They're they're down to earth. Another core value is renew and improve. So they like to basically.
All right, that's time. Thank you so much, Henry. We appreciate that. Thanks for sharing the core values. Great job. Let me remove your spotlight. Just a quick reminder, a minute goes by very quickly. So if you want to even just share one core value and how it relates to customer service, that's fine too. Don't feel like you have to share all of them. Excellent job, Henry. Thank you. Starbucks, I have a very complicated relationship with them because I enjoy their coffee and I think it costs way too much money. So Starbucks, let's go to Melvin. I want to hear from you, Melvin. Tell us about Starbucks core values and how it relates to customer service.
Starbucks core value is to create warmth with the customers. That way the customers come back the next day. They also want to be transparent and hold themselves accountable with their results. This is the purpose is to that they want to connect with their customers so that they have a good connection. It's pretty much.
Great. Short and to the point. 15 seconds. There are so many books written about Starbucks and how they do their customer service, and really a top-notch company. Also, real quickly, just some feedback to the group. We want to remember that this is a professional environment. So when you use, adult language, that does not represent your brand very well. So please be mindful of what you put in the chat box, because we're all reading it, and we want to make sure that we're representing ourselves with as much professionalism as possible. All right, Joe and the Juice. This place is the best. I would literally move to an apartment building if they had Joe and the Juice on the first floor. They have the best smoothies and the best food. And I want to hear, I want to hear Renee tell us about Joe and the Juice.
All right, so one of the core values of Joe and the Juice, what I found out, well, my group found out, is that loyalty is royalty. So basically, that core value is trying to say that they want to keep their customers loyal to what they're gonna serve. Um, yeah, and with their organic and healthy meal menus, so they basically offer smoothies, sandwiches, and coffees. So they want to keep that customers loyal to what they're gonna serve in their restaurant.
Great. Yeah, I love that comment, Renee. Loyalty is realty. Yeah, it's very hard to have a business model where you have just a customer come one time and say, okay, I'm never going to come back ever again. Right? It's hard to sustain a business that way. So one of the things about, oh yeah, thank you, Eduardo. It's called Joe and the Juice. They're all over the city. They're also international. And they're awesome. They have really good smoothies, really good food, and always, every time I go there, amazing customer service. So I enjoyed going there. None in the Bronx, but that's besides the point. We don't have anything in the Bronx. We don't have Trader Joe's. We don't have a Whole Foods. Don't even get me started. We just got Shake Shack like last week. Like, come on, guys. All right. Anyways, we're gonna go to Trader Joe's. I want to hear from. How about Diane? Diane, tell us about Trader Joe's.
Okay, so one of the core values is Kaiser, which is a Japanese word for improvement or change for the better. And Trader Joe's believes that their customers are their main priority, and so they try to bring the best prices and the best stuff to them. So them is we keep our costs low because every penny we save is a penny you save.
Awesome. What's that word again? The first one you said?
Kaiser.
That's so interesting. Cool. Yeah, they're a great company as well. Thank you so much, Diane. Excellent job. All right. Costco. I want to hear from Maria. Tell us about Costco.
Well, from what I know about Costco, it's that it cares about customers getting the lowest and better prices for their items, but also it cares about the employees, as in like the pride. They care about the, what was the word? It's a pride, and well, yeah, I just put it in my own words. Sorry.
Okay.
They care about how their employees are in terms of like people, not just in like having to show up a professional image, but also how they are in terms of person, because not everyone is the same. So like everyone has their own belief and stuff like that, like personalities. So they also care a lot about that. They want their employees to feel like themselves, but at the same time to bring really good customer service to their customers.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Maria. Great job. It's nice to hear from you. Awesome. And yeah, Costco is a great company. They really treat their employees well, which is in turn they treat their customers well. So thank you all. Really quick, let's spend the last 3 to 4 minutes of class. Why is it important to have strong core values within your company, and how does that relate to customer service? Like, why do you think the companies that have the best core values and people feel really invigorated to work there, in turn, treat their customers so well? If you want to put in the chat box, you also can. Let's start off with Kayla. Why do you think that's so important?
I feel like that's what your company's known for, and that's what like keeps your customers coming back. I feel like if you're putting out like bad customer service or like bad core values, that kind of like reflects on your company, and that would keep people from coming back.
Absolutely. Excellent, Kayla. Thank you. Let's go to Jason.
From my retail experience, if you treat your employees happily, they'll gladly do their job and put out a more friendly environmental feel, if that makes sense. Compared to if your employees feel underworked, then they'll just like not want to do their job, therefore leaving guests or clients in the red.
I love it. I heard it said one time, if you take care of your staff, they'll take care of the customer. Like it's not so complicated. It's just treat them well and they'll treat the customer well. Excellent. And the opposite is true, Jason, to your point. You treat your staff poorly, they'll treat the customer poorly. And then it creates a vicious cycle where nobody wants to come anymore. Let's hear from Sikander.
I think the core values are just like a check for the business itself.
Yes.
It's more like when you're in a board meeting, you guys are deciding on what the future of the company is, but then somebody makes like you guys are split on the decision, you would lean towards the decision that's more in line with the company's core values and their mission statement.
Yes, that's a really good point, Sikander. I'm glad to bring that up because when you're running an organization, you have to make key decisions all the time. And going back to this is our manifesto, this is what we value, this is what we care about. Will help you make those decisions as it's aligned with our core values. Eli?
I would say that the core values is something to uphold everyone by, the staff and the customers, because like a company with good core values, like customers are not going to be in there go rude and everything, while the staff are treating them well just because they're being upheld by certain standards.
Yes, absolutely, Eli. Thanks for sharing. Davian?
Just to piggyback off of what everyone said, I feel like the core values are a representation of the company. Being that a lot of these companies are worldwide, it's hard to manage every single one. So when you look at the core values, you as a staff member or as a customer, you can see what are like the values that the company is upheld by.
Yes, absolutely. And you have a common belief in those that helps your team work together. Excellent. Jesus?
Basically, just like how everyone's been saying, the core values is basically how a company keeps themselves accountable to themselves and to their customers.
Yeah, it's accountability for sure. And then going back to Zappos, which I don't know what other companies do this, but I know Zappos does, is they hire and fire based on the core values, which is pretty incredible. It shows how much they care about them. So one last question in the chat box. Do you have personal core values? Like, do you have beliefs, and what are they? You can put one of them if you want, that you uphold for yourself. That you say, this is my personal core value. It's my center. And obviously we have multiple, core values, but what's one that you hold? Tagruel, what's one of yours?
So my personal value is being honest and doing honest business. For example, as a customer service, I have a lot of customers who's coming with the phones which they consider it's broken, but I'm explaining, no, it's not a broken. This is something like easy thing, so we can fix it for easy price, like for less money. Not we don't have to fix it. So that's the important things, because you're not making money with the cheating. You don't lie, you don't do this kind of things. You don't want to earn money with the wrong way. You want to earn money honest way and trustful. So trustworthiness, also it's good customer service. It's affect good customer service. Overall, I'm agree that as much as your customer service is good, your business is gonna grow up. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Tagruel, you have inspired me, to be honest, because I told you if we didn't take a break, we would end class 5 minutes early. So we're gonna end class 5 minutes early. Before we do, real quickly, there's the deliverables that are due, the discussion board, and the midterm. If you have questions on the midterm, please swing by my office hours today at 3:15, and I'm happy to chat with you about that. And I actually saw Sean. He and I share a core value, which is treat others how you would want to be treated. To me, it's like if I just do that, everything else seems to work out. So with that being said, guys, have a fabulous weekend and see you on Monday.
Bye bye.
See you Monday. Have a good
Good
weekend.
one.
See you Monday.
Later, Eric. Later.
Later, guys. Yeah, Audrey, do you have a question?
No, it's just like I just wanted to tell you that I'm really sorry that I was like off today. It's just I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm in my phone, and it
Okay.
was like really complicated.
No, no problem at all. Thank you for letting me know, and I hope you were still able to get what you need out of class.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep, you're welcome. Bye. Do you have a question, Sikander?
Yeah, it was regarding the Excel sheet. I'm not sure if you saw my message earlier.
Oh no, I
But-
missed it.
Yeah, so I just PM'd you like regarding if you had a hard stop today or not. So if I could pick your brain about it.
No, I have a meeting at 11:45, but I think we can crack in 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's just like so I have some experience with Excel. Most of it was just like me learning as I went. But like, is this like a place where you use the if then statement? Like to figure out, or is that
Yeah.
like just like a true or false thing?
That's a really good question. That would be like more of a true or false thing. Yeah.
So like, so there's like no faster way to get to the number of years required than doing it the way I did it? I don't know if you remember my, like the way that I went
No,
about it.
I saw the way that you went about it. To me, you know what? That would be a better question probably for Kachun because he's more experienced in Excel than I am. The way that you did it, Sikander, is exactly the way I would have done it as well. And to my knowledge, there wouldn't be another way, but I'm sure Kachun could probably figure out a more efficient way. Click on B13 for me, please. So yeah, you just divide that there. I see B6. Right, because you would think that you could use a formula to find it quicker.
Yeah, while I was doing it, I was just thinking,